But right now, a big topic of discussion, Sam, with Parliament back in session is same-sex marriage. The coalition, of course, going in with the idea of we want a plebiscite. Let the people decide, and then we'll decide if the people should have it or not. And now the opposition have jumped in to say, no, let's just make it happen. And now the arguing ensues. One man who has very strong opinions about this, he's talked about it on our show before, Opposition Leader Bill Shorten. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, Rod. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning.
Okay, so what's going on? At the moment, the plebiscite has been put forward and you guys are saying not good enough.
Well, they haven't actually put the plebiscite forward. We expect them to. What we're going to do is say, why bother going through the process of having a $250 million taxpayer-funded opinion poll, which won't bind the members of Parliament? We're going to end up having a vote on marriage equality. Why don't we just have the vote on marriage equality and get on with it?
Because that sounds like it makes sense.
And then what do you say to the critics like Christopher Pyne who said, well, this is what you guys are doing?
The Liberals take lots of policies to the election. That doesn't mean that we've got to just stop being the Labor Party because of what they say. And I think at a more deeper level, their policy they took to the election is a bad idea. Mm-hmm. And in terms of trusting the Australian people have just had an election. We have a lot of faith in the Australian people, but the Australian people expect us to make sensible decisions. It is not sensible to waste $250 million on an opinion poll where if you don't vote in it, you'll get fined $52, but the government MPs don't have to accept the outcome.
So now, does this mean that it allows the government to then take the plebiscite out and then not even have to have marriage equality even be an issue that we talk about anymore?
Well, they may do that, but we're going to keep talking about marriage equality and getting it voted in the Parliament. The other argument which some people have put to me, which I think is pretty persuasive, is why should gay people have to have an unusual process to change the Marriage Act? It's changed 20 times in the history of the Marriage Act. No one's ever felt the need before to go through this very complicated process. So why is it now that gay people have got a different standard, a harder standard to have their relationships recognised when we've changed the Marriage Act 20 times before?
Yeah. And actually, just quickly, one of my girlfriends, she's a lesbian. She's in a relationship. She's got a beautiful little bubba. She thinks that the plebiscite is forcing people to have an opinion on whether gay marriage should exist, and it actually segregates them from the community even more so. But quickly, do you think it's likely for this bill to be passed? So you're putting a private member's bill in today at lunchtime, I believe.
Yeah.
Is it likely it's going to be passed?
Well, we put it in today. It then gets voted in a sequence of matters next Monday. The question is, will the Liberal Party allow a conscience vote? Now, Mr Pyne was saying, you've got to trust people. He doesn't even trust his own people to exercise their own views. So if they don't have a conscience vote, chances are it'll be difficult for it to be passed. But this is a case like many issues in our community over time. We just keep making progress. We won't give up. And talking about your friend who's a nurse, why should her relationship have to run the gamut of an election? Is it a good thing or not? And more importantly, even their little child being raised in a house of love, why is it that child will have to go through a situation where people are assessing the child's parents' relationship? If Australians just want us to get on and do this. I get that there are some people who really don't agree with marriage equality, although some of the people who don't like marriage equality, I just think are deeply uncomfortable with people who are gay, full stop. But for the rest of us, I think there's much better things we can do than compelling people to turn up to vote in an opinion poll about some people's relationships and spending $250 million. We can do it in Parliament. We're here every day.
Absolutely. Yeah. If I want to marry my wife, I don't have to ask the country for their opinion. I just go and do it. So,
exactly.
Well, look, best of luck. We'll see what happens. I think it's safe to say where Sam and I sit on this. We are all for it. And best of luck passing your bill.
Yep, keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Great to chat to you both. Have a good day.
Thanks, Bill Shorten there, Leader of the Opposition. That members' bill in favour of same-sex marriage. We'll see how it goes later on today.